Hey, Rick here from Mathlite, and I was at a teachers convention last week and went to this workshop by Dr. Philip Alsop. And the title of the workshop was The Question Great Educators Ask. So I thought, it's an interesting title. Let me go to this workshop, see if I can gather something. And it was quite interesting. So here's the question. The question that great educators ask is this. They ask themselves often, what would a great educator do? What would a great educator do? I thought that was profound. And he went through, had a couple points. First point was, the question raises the standard of our leadership above the circumstances. So in other words, you're in the midst of a circumstance. You're figuring out how you're going to deal with it, and you ask yourself, what would a great educator do? I thought that's interesting. He said the question, secondly, tests our motives. You know, sometimes we're ready to respond and perhaps our motive isn't correct. Perhaps someone asked us to do something or asked us for help or a myriad of things. If we'll stop and pause and say, what would a great educator do? Our response might be quite different. The third thought was the question exposes our weaknesses. You know, as you take time to process that question before responding, now we can begin to think, okay, well, what's my motive in this? Why am I going to respond this way? What would a great educator do? And then the fourth thought was, this question inspires us to reach beyond our limits or beyond the limits of our personalities. And you know, we're all different. We all have strengths and weaknesses as teachers. And there's a lot involved. Our kids need us to be great educators. And so I thought it was a profound workshop. In other words, in all the instances of a classroom, whether it's classroom management, whether it's being involved with other teachers, whether the administration asks for something, all the myriad tasks that a teacher has to perform, to stop and think, what would a great educator do? I think that's profound. I think it's life-changing. Well, here's why I wanted to blog. Here's what hit me in the midst of that workshop, and I told Dr. Alsop this after the workshop. I thought, you know what, I got to do that. I've got to be thinking, what would a great educator do? But then my mind flipped it. I started thinking about my students. And I thought about the number of situations where the work maybe wasn't quite up to par, the effort wasn't up to par, a myriad of situations. And I thought this, what if I start asking my students this? What would a great student do? What would a great student do? You know, I'm going to put that to practice in my classroom. What would a great student do? Hey, Bob, in that situation, what would a great student do? Hey, Sally, yeah, I know that question's tough. And I know it requires some work, but you know what, Sally, what would a great student do? Yes, Sally, I know you're not getting this concept, and I know it's going to require extra study and a little extra work, but what would a great student do? And I thought that was a great thought. I hope maybe it's inspiring to you. First off, on our part, what would a great teacher do? And I need to assess the things that I do, day by day, situation by situation. But then let me try to flip this around to my students as well, and begin to get them to think, what would a great student do? All right, that's my tip. I'm Rick from Mathlite. I hope you have a great day.